Welcome along to another of our spotlights on Scotland, where we hope to reach out to the lettings community in Scotland via interviews. And I'm delighted to welcome Nick Hankey. And Nick, you represent one of the deposit schemes in Scotland, don't you?
That's right. I'm a director representing TDS on the safe deposit scheme.
And it's called Safe Deposits in Scotland,
yes,
isn't it? Yes, let's be
safe
clear.
Deposits Scotland, yes.
Quite a few changes up there in Scotland, aren't there?
Yes. It's very interesting. There's been a lot of telephone calls with people not sure what's going on. It's all very different for them. We've had a lot of people who feel they've managed their deposits fine for 30 years or more, and they don't understand why they have to do this. But I think the message is getting out there. There was a lot of publicity earlier this week because from October the 3rd, any new tenancy has to be registered within 30 days.
Right.
And that was obviously publicised fairly well through Shelter, because we got a lot of calls this week. With people suddenly saying, oh, this is going to happen, and it does apply. But we've had a fairly good, steady influx from the beginning when we launched in July. Of course, the date when everybody has to register is November the 13th, which is the big cut-off date. And I think all three schemes are just waiting to see how things end up and how big the market really is, because we're not quite sure.
Exactly. And what is the difference between the three schemes that are represented in Scotland?
Well, Safe Deposits is uniquely Scottish. We've got a Scottish office, we have Scottish members on the board, and we're very much seen as a Scottish thing, and TDS is in the background really providing resources for setting it up and doing the admin side. But it's very much a Scottish focused scheme, whereas the other two are basically English based, operating in Scotland, although they are separate schemes up there. And that has been welcomed. They're all custodial.
Yes,
they're all custodial. That is the regulation in Scotland. They only have custodial schemes. And I think the current political climate in Scotland welcomes a Scottish brand.
Yes.
And we have had lots of people saying they've come to us because of our Scottish call centre and the fact that essentially it is a Scottish company.
And you're there to help the landlords and lettings agents understand their obligations and to be compliant?
Yes, we've run a lot of seminars all around the country, in Dundee, Aberdeen, Inverness. We've gone all over the place, and I think what we've tried to do is reach out to the whole country rather than just focus on Glasgow and Edinburgh, which would be the easy way out. And we are getting tenancies from all over the place, and some of them are really old. £10 sort of key deposit is our lowest one so far. But it's interesting to see. It is definitely a different market up there, which is what we expected.
And do you think it's good that NOWS is trying to reach out to these communities that perhaps feel a little bit left out, because some things can be very London-centric?
Oh no, absolutely. And I think with the whole tenancy deposit thing being England and Wales before, it hasn't really mattered up there.
Exactly.
So it's very, very important that NOWS does reach out and embraces people, because with a very limited time when it's going to become an obligation, and there are big fines in place if they don't register. And
it's very black and white in that regard.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Well, thank you for helping
Absolute
us
pleasure.
to reach out to the Scottish lettings community. It's lovely talking to you.
Thank you.